Time to get into my review of the latest episode of Welcome to Plathville. This is episode 7, I believe, and I'll just go ahead and warn you, if you have not seen this episode and you plan on watching it, don't watch it. This episode and this season is so boring and it's so pointless. I would rather watch old lady Lydia and big booty Zach do nothing as opposed to what we're subject to, which is these fools doing nothing and talking about the same thing and repeating themselves. Why is all y'all talking about Ethan and Tegan and Ethan? I don't know how many times we've been reminded why they broke up.
Kept telling her that I would move to Wisconsin, and I never did.
What did you do that she's no longer your girlfriend?
Putting her last on the list for like a year. At least that's how she felt.
Already months in to me telling her that I would move, and I still hadn't moved yet.
I had told Tegan that I would move to Wisconsin, and I did want to, but I was like, I guess maybe I wasn't ready yet or something. I'm moving to Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
He went to Wisconsin to find a place to live and tell Tegan that he's moving there.
She always felt last, and I never moved over there, even though I told her that I would many times.
Or being reminded that Barry is dating.
Introducing them to the topic of me dating someone. I'm just looking for a good wingman. It'd be nice to maybe go out and go on a date.
You're open to date?
So I was thinking of dipping my feet back in the dating pool again. So, did she tell you that I'm dating?
Like, do y'all think we slow like them? No. So they start the episode off and Isaac and Pookie, they're getting ready to go to Montana. And since Isaac now, after the 4-day breakup, is the relationship expert, he's over here talking about him and Kaylin are going strong.
Kaylin are going to Montana together. It's good to be able to go on a trip with her after everything we've been through. Everything feels like it's pretty much back to normal now. And so regardless of the breakup, it's good to go, travel with her.
Really, after 4 long days, that's all it took. And Pookie's over here in her confessional thinking she's a relationship expert too, talking as if there's so much growth that happened within those 4 days.
Things between me and Isaac, they're actually going really good.
After 4 days.
Honestly, better than they ever were.
Before the 4 days.
He's just giving me all the reassurance that I can ask for.
That he didn't give you before the 4 days.
And communicate the way we should be doing. He does everything that he can every single day to prove to me that he loves me.
Because he didn't do it before those 4 daings. Okay. So y'all heard it here first. What y'all need to do to save your relationship.
Sometimes you got to take that little breakup in order for things to really and truly heal both of y'all and the relationship.
Break up for 4 days and boom, it'll be better than ever. Y'all should tell that to Ethan and Tegan since y'all care so much. But we all know this is a storyline written by Micah Plaths.
So this is my first time reading the script. I have a lot of work to do on it.
But now the dummy Isaac, and I never called him a dummy before because although he is a Plath, he normally stays neutral or out of it. But because he's the protector of the cult, he is over here just defending Ethan as if he's done nothing wrong because, again, that delusion is if you date a Plath and something happens, it's automatically your fault. They can never do any wrong.
After the breakup, I don't know if Tegan wants to get back with Ethan or not. For now, I guess the first step is just seeing, how she treats him in Montana.
You are aware of why they broke up. You read your Micah Plath script, right?
So this is my first time reading the script. I have a lot of work to do on it.
And we heard it a million times. Remember, Ethan is the bad guy. So why would it be on how she treats him? He's supposed to be winning her back. But this does not make any sense because it's y'all. And Pookie's over here co-signing, talking about, well, there were some things post-breakup. Like what?
I don't necessarily have a problem with Tegan. It's just since the breakup, there was a few private things that went on that I didn't necessarily agree with.
You're just as delusional as Isaac talking about Tegan can be sweet 1 minute and then switch up again as if Ethan is this innocent person.
Tegan is, so sweet and lovey-dovey towards Ethan 1 minute and then the next thing you know, it's complete sideways. You can't just play with somebody's emotions like that. I understand Ethan did certain things that he's not proud of and he's taking full accountability for it, but you can't continue to play with somebody.
I know he's sitting around moping every 2 seconds. wanted somebody to ask him, what's wrong? And you're even defending him, talking about, well, I know he's done certain things, but he's taking accountability. So for her to just play in his face, girl, did you watch the episodes? Did you watch the other seasons? According to this storyline, which I don't believe, didn't he play in her face by keep telling her that he's going to move out there to her and her kid? Again, she has a child, but within this storyline, which I don't believe, he's the bad guy. So why does he get to do it, but she can't? Because he's taking accountability? This whole thing is dumb. Now we get to Amber and Barry. She's making dinner and she invited her friend Berlin over.
Tonight I made dinner for my dad and I invited my friend Berlin over to help.
Another dumb scene. Barry's going on talking about how Amber has matured and she's being responsible.
My relationship with Amber these days is maturing. She's maturing, she's growing up. She's showing herself to be a very responsible young lady.
Which we've already seen that when she told Kim she should leave.
Heard that you wanted Dad to move out, like to a different house. It just seems like if you're the one that wants to break it up and you're the one that doesn't want to stay, then shouldn't you be the one to move?
I mean, I could be if that's what you want.
But now Barry is reverting back to his gross predatory type ways, because why are you sitting here talking about your relationship with her is becoming more peer-to-peer and less father-daughter?
So the relationship is changing more to peer-to-peer and less, father-daughter.
What? How does that make sense? Because also at the end of the day, she is 16 years old, and you're having dinner with her friend, which isn't the problem. But what is the problem is you're sitting here with your 16-year-old daughter and her friend, which I'm assuming is around the same age, talking about you dating.
So, did she tell you that I'm dating?
I heard.
Yeah. This is just a creepy conversation in every regard. First of all, why are you sitting here making this a storyline again? Like, is that all you can talk about? Can you come up with something else? But also, you are sitting here telling your 16-year-old daughter's friend about your dating life. I would just feel so uncomfortable if I was her parent. And she even looked uncomfortable, awkwardly asking, how is it going?
How's that going?
It's at the really early phases.
Y'all just... And what's even worse is she's asking, like, have you met anyone? And that turns into Amber and her talking about setting you up.
Met anyone yet?
No, I've just been talking. Just been talking on the phone.
I wish I could find someone and set you up.
Yeah.
Blind date?
Who on earth can a 16-year-old set you up with? And you're trying to play it safe, talking about, well, if it's a friend that knows someone.
If they're known by, like, a friend who knows somebody, yeah.
Why would they have friends in your dating range that has friends, is giving those safe answers before the cops show up, with Chris Hansen? And just when you thought it was bad, it gets even worse, because he's now telling this 16-year-old little girl that around Cairo, he's known as the Plath daddy.
Around Cairo, I'm known as the Plath daddy.
Really?
Police arrest him. While y'all there, y'all can rearrest Kim too.
Welcome to Plathville's Kim Plath, charged with DUI.
But Barry, sir, this is just gross. And then you at the dinner table talking about Bigfoot yet again.
Did you know that I interviewed a guy who had an encounter with Bigfoot?
And this is why I hate this show, because y'all find one little thing and just drill it in our heads. Like, just bring it up and talk about it all the time. I would honestly rather see him, well, I would rather not watch this show. But if we're being forced to watch it, I would rather see him talking about the Lord and going to church with old lady Lydia, since we know, like, you really are into that with her and Big Booty Zach.
Tell the skinny hoes to point me where the thick hoes at. He want a flat booty bitch.
I would rather see you talk about that as opposed to you bringing up you dating every 2 seconds and then now Bigfoot. We don't care that you're looking for Bigfoot. We're happy that we did not see Bigfoot this episode. That did make it a little bit better. And the producer got the nerve to ask this little girl, do you think there's any ladies that would be into Bigfoot that would be a match for?
You think there's a lot of ladies out there that are Bigfoot hunting that could be a good match for Barry?
Maybe.
Why are we sitting here doing this? If we have to choose between the two, stick to talking about Bigfoot. You telling her that they capture audio of Bigfoot.
There are people who have captured audio
of the call
of a Bigfoot.
Sir, we have audio and video of Bigfoot. And I'm dead because they played the call in the end.
Will you come and visit me on weekends?
where it was like free drinks and car keys at table for two. You'll see Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
Now we get to this boring Montana trip, and just as we expected, nothing.
My first time here in Montana, and gonna look around and do some fun things, explore, and just see what Montana has for us. So I'm excited.
Literally nothing planned, talking about just winging it.
What do you guys want to do today?
I'm gonna wing it, play it by ear, and just explore it.
So we don't really have anything set in stone. We're just gonna...
Yeah.
But then we get this jump scare of Mariah and this grandma plastic wig. Like, girl.
I drove over last night, and Ethan, Tegan, and Isaac and Kaylin got in yesterday.
Again, I'm sorry for your alopecia and wishing you the best, but you were just at a black beauty salon store and she got you right with the wigs, and you go back to this. But we got them over here trying to make fake beef with Tegan, with Pookie over here talking about, you know, well, I haven't talked to her since.
The last time I saw her, I think, was before school started, but it's been a hot minute.
But then she goes on and says that she took a step back because Tegan would talk to her about the issues that they had going on, but so would Ethan, and so she didn't want to be in the middle.
Me and Tegan were always close at the beginning, but I kind of, you know, took a little step back because whenever something would happen, she would call me, and, you know, I'm always there for somebody, but Ethan would sometimes talk to me about certain things too, so I don't want to be in the middle of things.
So pretty much you're saying you're not a girl's girl, because why is Ethan talking to you? That's what Isaac and Micah, when he's not producing, directing, or writing this, is supposed to be doing for him. But then we cut to Ethan once again moping around, waiting for somebody to come and ask him, what's wrong? Why are you sitting here doing this when the reason why you were moping around, because I miss Tegan. She's here. Now's your chance to talk to her and try to make an effort, but this is so fake that it doesn't even make sense. You wanting to sit here and mope around again? Bring in Big Booty Zach so he can talk about some more Reddit rumors that Kim posted.
I've heard things, but I don't know, obviously, how true they are.
And just watching y'all, I'm like, imagine being a producer or a PA or somebody on set with them, because it has to be extremely boring working and wasting time and hours when they are literally sitting here doing nothing. And once again, talking about nothing.
Where are your brother and Kaylin at? Are you just waiting for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Ethan says in his confessional that, you know, it's hard being friends because he loves her so much.
It's a lot for me to just be friends with Tegan because I love her, but that's where she's at, and I want to meet her where she's at.
But if you love her so much, you should be able to be friends, because a friendship is the foundation of any relationship in love. But am I surprised that you don't know that? No, because you are Satan with no love in the void that's supposed to be a heart. And so he's sitting over here talking about, well, do you want to watch a movie later?
Would you want to watch a movie later?
I don't know, maybe.
She explains that in the room, the only place to watch a movie, you will have to be in the bed, and she don't want him in the bed with her.
At least how my room was set up, the only way to watch the movie would be if you sat in bed, and I do not want Ethan in my bed.
But then you got this producer over here asking, oh, what happened? Like, why? Because in the past, you said he was the one, but now you can't even be in the bed with him? Why?
You used to say that Ethan was the one.
When I laid eyes on him, I was like, oh, he's it. He's the one.
And now you don't even want to watch a movie with him alone. What happened? Was there some kind of inciting incident that led you here?
She just literally explained that. And she's been explaining that, and he's been explaining that this whole season so far. So are you slow? Yes, but also the fact that y'all just got to segue into something, because now it brings up this incident that happened where they supposedly broke up. So she explains that she coordinated a surprise birthday party for him with his grandparents, which I'm like, what kind of surprise party is it? Because he ain't got no friends.
The last straw that sort of broke the camel's back of our relationship was I went to celebrate his birthday with him. We coordinated with his grandparents.
And here he goes once again, repeating the same story, like, well, things were already on thin ice because I told her I would move and I didn't.
The ice was already thin at that point because I was already months in to me telling her that I would move, and I still hadn't moved yet.
So she was like, he was fine at first, and then he disappeared and started working on his cars, which doesn't make sense and is weird because why would his cars be there? And it's just weird.
At first, he seemed happy and everything like that. Then he sort of just disappeared for a while, which is Ethan. He does that. I went to find him, and he was working on one of his cars, but he was just acting really weird.
If he left to go work on his cars, but you also went there and coordinated the birthday party, why would he say things were already on thin ice if you are already showing at... This doesn't make sense, and it stresses me out trying to make sense of it. But also the fact that this is the same thing, literally, that Olivia went through with him and told him about.
It's at a time when you knew that you didn't want to prioritize me because you didn't want to deal with the relationship, and you escaped working on cars, and then we separated to work on that. And during that time, you went and bought yet another car and then hid it from me. I think it was really hurtful.
Ethan and I are not together. We broke up some months ago. I think really what it boiled down to in our relationship is I put him first, and then he also put himself first, and so nobody was prioritizing me. It was like a slap in the face, sort of, almost.
Which was, I believe, season 4. So you a fangirl all in his DMs talking about...
I was like, eee!
So you should have known that, or that you only just watched season 1. So Ethan is talking about he just shut down and says the only true statement that came out of his mouth, which was he's an idiot.
I started shutting down, like I was not saying anything. I just wanted to keep working on my car. It's just such an idiot.
But she's asking him what's wrong, and he is aware that she's frustrated. He's not communicating.
And I kept asking, what's wrong? What's up? What's going on? And he didn't really want to talk about it. He kept shutting me down.
And she started getting really frustrated that I wasn't communicating with her.
And maybe I was asking too many times, he said nothing was wrong, but his words and actions were not matching, I could tell.
And he says that it reminded him of his ex.
And she kept pressuring me like, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. And as she kept pressing me, I was looking at her and it was like I was seeing my ex. She used to do that.
Wow. So you are the common denominator. I know your mom was your teacher and she didn't teach you much, but she taught you common denominator. I know that because y'all tried to use that at Veronica last season.
Can you not see that you're at the root of all of that? You're the common denominator.
So you do the math. You are the common denominator, sir. And just like he did at Lydia and Zach's wedding, Big and Baby throwing a little temper tantrum.
I just finally put my tools down, wiped my hands off, got in my 76 New Yorker.
He sort of peeled out of there and he shut his phone off and left me at his grandparents' farm.
Which also doesn't make sense because if he's doing all this and it was a surprise birthday party for him, where were they? And also if he left you, did they not feel bad for you? Or this doesn't make sense. And then he's talking about, it was the most depressing thing. Like, I looked into the rearview mirror and just seeing her.
I remember looking back. It's one of the most depressing images that sticks in my mind that haunts me even today. It's just Tegan, just perfectly beautiful, standing there in the driveway, crying with her hand over her mouth. I saw in the rearview mirror as I just peeled down the road.
So you weren't inclined to go back, and so they broke up that day.
We broke up that day over the phone when he turned his phone back on at some point.
But she says later on that he came back with his truth.
He finally came to me with what I could tell was a truth he'd been holding on to for quite some time, that he wanted to watch all his minor siblings grow up back down in Georgia.
What kind of excuse is that? Since when did you care so much that you want to just physically be there doing nothing to watch them grow up? But before y'all come at me talking about, well, he can change, he says next that, oh, well, I said that in passing and I didn't really think about, like, is that what I want to do?
I just said it in passing, but not really considering everything, like, would I really want that?
And what do we have to watch them do? Play tic-tac-toe.
Do you want to play tic-tac-toe?
Sure.
Lord. So then the rest of them come down to the lobby and Isaac is running his lines like, so what character are you playing? Happy, sad? Like, what's going on?
You sad, happy?
Oh, yeah, just...
I'm sad with the weather.
And Isaac's talking about, well, she was normal with us.
Tegan's normal towards us. When I saw her, she gave me a hug. said what's up.
What's she gonna do? Slap you? Again, if you read your script that Michael Plath gave you, Ethan is the bad guy. Why are you sitting here acting like she's the bad person in this story? And then Ethan wanted to talk about, well, I got my job in my house. Really?
I got my job in my house.
Yeah, I heard. That's awesome.
I made a lot of steps just to be near her and set up a life near her. I don't think she would have come to Montana if I hadn't done that.
Because why didn't we see that? That's a very vital part of your story. Why are we just hearing you say this on the couch? You mean to say that production paid for an Airbnb for you to be there to film, and they probably paid somebody to pretend like you working there? But then Tegan, once again, which this episode is so annoying, because why are we just sitting here dissecting this fake relationship? Y'all keep talking, doing your monologues in the confessional without talking to each other and talking about, like, I'm tired of y'all two. I really am. Because she's like, you know, well, I would do most of the driving and I got to put me first.
I am a working mom, so my free time is limited. Like, looking back on that, I was just like, you know, you realize things like, oh, come on, Tegan. It's not like a red flag by any means, but definitely like a yellow flag for sure. Yellow orange.
And Pookie over here is defending Ethan once again, talking about, well, I thought if he was gonna move there that she would take him back.
I know people go at things, you know, at their own pace, but you know, since he's moving up there, I thought that like it would have been a little different instead of just being friends.
Girl, you really are working overtime trying to get your, well, not a blessing, a curse from Kim Plath so you can marry Isaac, because everybody knows to get on Kim's good side, you need to defend to the end of the earth little mini Satan big booty Ethan Plath. I'm tired of y'all. So because it rained, they had to stay in, and once again, complete boredom.
Unfortunately, yesterday it rained all day and all night, which really sucked because it kept us inside, so we played games the entire day.
Boredom for them, but also boredom for us. Like, what was the point of this? And I guess while Michael Plath is trying to get the plans for the day situated, he done gave Tegan a little production camera so she can film Ethan. And she's sitting here talking about, well, Ethan doesn't really talk about his feelings unless the camera's in his face.
Ethan doesn't like to talk about his feelings and stuff, and I honestly have found the best that he ever does is really with a camera in his face, so.
Girl, a camera should never be in his face, especially for this show. But he always sits in front of the camera and just lie. What are you talking about? And he was all joking and haha until she asked, well, do you think you were wrong for what you did to Big Booty Zach at their wedding?
Do you have anything to say about how you chose to conduct yourself last year, especially to Zach?
Which she's talking about his little temper tantrum when he drove his raggedy car off for attention.
I don't know that I can do this.
Which I'm like, he's just mad because he wants Big Booty Zach. We already know that.
Tell the skinny hoes to point me where the thick hoes at. He want a flat booty bitch. I'm not.
That bastard really does pop in blue.
And she's sitting here talking about, I was disappointed because that's not the Ethan I know.
I was really disappointed in the Ethan I was seeing because that's not the Ethan I know.
That's the Ethan I know. That's the Ethan I've watched and I only know. And she's telling him, well, you know, that's not the way to live life, being petty. And he's making this little dumb face like.
Is that any way to live life, being petty?
But he's sitting in front of a camera, lying, talking about, well, Tegan's upset, not because of what he did, but because he didn't tell her he was leaving.
Tegan was really upset that I left without telling her. I just took off again, you know? I remember her telling me, like, if I was really struggling, or if I was like, if I had it and I needed to go, then I should have come to her and told her that, and she could have gone with me, and we could have talked about it and all that stuff. I was like, I didn't even think about that.
And I know he's sitting here lying, because y'all know he has a one-track mind with this one storyline. If I gotta mope around and make up this story, that happened last year. Your whole birthday thing when y'all broke up was after that. So why are you sitting here saying, when I stormed off and left again?
I left without telling her. I just took off again.
When that didn't happen in the first place. And she even said herself, she's upset of how you acted. And even if that's left for interpretation, he continues to lie, talking about he apologized. He did that little half apology the first episode, so I'll give him that. that?
I definitely shouldn't have been so hot-headed. I've apologized to Lydia and Zach in any of the ways I may have hurt them.
But you talking about they know that you wish them nothing but the best, as well as y'all have a good relationship.
I let them both know that I wish them nothing but the best, and we have a good relationship now.
We saw how you treated him when he was genuinely concerned about you, as well as genuinely coming to you with the rumors that he read. And you were acting all cold shoulder to him, talking about, well, I'm getting irritated.
I am like deeply irritated, but I tried to hide my irritation, just keep it inside where no one would see it, and answer the questions without really answering the questions.
So, girl, that's your example of him, even with a camera in his face, lying, because that's all he knows how to do. Lie and bully. Then we finally get to old lady Lydia and big booty Zach. We done suffered through a long episode of just boredom. Finally get into something. And they ain't really doing nothing, but the few minutes that they were on screen, I enjoyed that more than this whole episode with them in Montana. Keep repeating the same reason why Tegan and Ethan broke up, like blah, 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 and doing nothing. Doing nothing, talking about nothing, just... Anyway, it's Christmas and they are in the Christmas spirit, which is funny that it's the same time and not once does Christmas come up with Satan's little imps. That brings up how, you know, he knows that they didn't celebrate Christmas, which now I'm putting two and two together. They probably didn't celebrate Christmas because Kim is broke and she wanted to go out here and have 10 kids, so she knows she can't afford presents for all these 10 kids. It got the nerve to be talking about having some more, girl. But production is dead for keep showing and zooming in on this photo of baby Zach.
They didn't celebrate Christmas. I grew up celebrating Christmas.
3 years of Christmas experience.
Okay, I have 24.
And so now Kim's friend from Table for Two comes and I'm like, he is really trying to get some camera time this season.
I'm gonna order delivery service.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
I hear we have Coco in our future.
But Lydia says that they are going to Colorado to spend Christmas with his family, which thank God, because Zach has suffered enough filming and being around her satanic cult of a family.
We're gonna have
Christmas with his family.
Christmas with my family, Christmas in Colorado with my friends, so
I'm happy that they can go and be around his friends and his family. That's what they need to be filming, not these boring people in Montana. And I also saw that old lady Lydia and big booty Zach, they're moving to Colorado. So good. Girl, get away, far, far away from that satanic cult. But then the friend brings up how they're going to Montana.
And then you guys are going to Montana afterwards.
Yep.
Isaac and Ethan are out there right now, aren't they? Visiting Mariah?
yeah.
And how Ethan and the rest of them are there now. And they didn't invite old lady Lydia until the last minute.
It would have been fun to be able to join him on this trip, but I didn't really hear about it till last minute. But I already have a trip planned to Montana, like next month, so.
And I blame Mariah and her wig and the rest of them because y'all too busy trying to make this little Micah Plath storyline that y'all didn't even invite old lady Lydia and big booty Zach. Y'all clearly had this planned before because we heard so many times how before y'all broke up, Ethan invited you to Montana and y'all broke up around his birthday, which was May whatever, and we in November, December for Christmas, and y'all didn't tell her until the last minute. Wow. And old lady Lydia talks about how she just feels like she's being overlooked, and it's true.
I do feel like the majority of my life I have been kind of just overlooked as the middle child. I've kind of just felt like I've been on the outside looking in. That's just shown itself in our marriage too.
They done changed when you were the one that was running that household. You were the one that was cooking the meals. You were the one that was cleaning. You were the one that was singing songs to them to go to sleep while their mama was out drinking and drunk.
Welcome to Plathville's Kim Plath, charged with DUI.
It was you. And Big Booty Zach is like, you know, we try and we are trying to be a part of their lives, but they do things like this.
We've both expressed pretty clearly like we want to be a part of their lives, and just a lot of stuff happens without us, and so it just can affect us sometimes.
Which goes back to the lie that Ethan said in front of a camera talking about, well, we have a good relationship now. Really? This little segment I enjoy way more than watching them in Montana, which we cut back to, and I'm just so tired. Isaac, the relationship expert, is over here talking about, well, Tegan's being real standoffish.
I'm noticing that Tegan's very standoffish from Ethan. I know Ethan's not been perfect in the relationship. If you're upset about something, that's okay, and you can work through that with your partner. But if she needs time to get over something, then she should take that time.
We gotta hear that. Producer asking Tegan, well, how are things going so far?
How are things going so far with Ethan?
this whole thing is just boring. Like, why are y'all making this such a big deal? Don't nobody care. And also, don't nobody believe. And even if we did believe this, why are we still talking about this? Talking about nothing. She's talking about Ethan's looking back at me.
Ethan keeps turning around to look at me. I'm sure it comes from a good place, you know, making sure I'm okay, but it just makes my anxiety worse.
I'm just so tired of them talking about the same thing and slow. Talking all slow, repeating the same things. And it's proof that they don't do anything and don't talk about anything, because every scene that they're in, it's always them giving their monologues in the confessional, because they don't say anything to anyone's face and they don't do anything. But then you got Isaac and Pookie, the new relationship experts over here, talking about, well, Tegan's blowing Ethan off. He was really excited to see her.
Tegan's definitely blowing him off. I don't understand that. She gets invited out and do a family trip with us and just kind of blows him off the whole time. He was so excited about her being out here. So I understand if he's sad, but he's been sad for so long. I think it's time he just, I don't know. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work.
So again, she's the bad guy. And once again, Pookie is repeating the same thing that Isaac said, talking about, well, Tegan's been standoff.
Tegan is being a little standoffish. It is understandable in a way, but I mean, why come to a whole different state with your ex-boyfriend and his family if you're not necessarily gonna like kind of make that effort?
Why do we have to keep hearing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again? That's why I'm like, do not watch this episode. I'm mad that I did. I'm literally about to start skipping all their scenes because thankfully we didn't see Bigfoot this episode.
No.
But next week, Tegan's talking to her mom, I don't want to see, and all that other stuff I really don't care about. What I do want to see is old lady Lydia over here trying to be a little freak hoe.
There's definitely a side of me that no one has ever seen or I never imagined was there.
If you just did that, I'm sorry.
But this is the longest, draining, boring season ever. Like, please end this torture soon, and please end this show indefinitely very, very soon, because it's not worth it.